Blake joining me a little bit later on as well. Blake are great. I first saw them do something, I think, at Shirley Bass's 70th birthday party at Clifton, just down the road. And they were very, very good. And Shirley on stage there with them said, "Boys, give me your room keys," because she can get away with that kind of stuff. And they were very, very good. So hopefully, I don't know, they're going to sing live. I assumed they were going to be in London somewhere talking stuff, but apparently not. They're coming in. They're going to be performing very, very soon in Newbury. I'm not exactly sure where, but we will find out. Talking about various things today on the Midweek Man with Dr. Steve Allen, retired billionaire, the very last show of all. We were thinking about, we don't have time to do it now, we're thinking about doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire instead of 20 questions now. I don't think it's time to do it, really, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe the Blake boys will want to answer questions on something. I can write them something instanter. Right. BBC Radio Bosch, 8 minutes after 3. It's the time. Welcome, Stephen and Humphrey and Ollie. How are you doing?
Very good.
Well,
Good. Very good. Very
nice,
good.
Nice
Great.
to be here.
Well, yeah, it's nice to be anywhere, really, isn't it?
Anywhere that's dry,
anywhere that's
preferably.
not outside.
So it's great that you actually made it down to the studio. Very good. The nearest that I was in a room to you guys was just down the road here at Clifton, Shirley Bass's 70th birthday, when you performed on stage with her.
That was very...
Asked for your room keys, as I remember.
She did ask for room keys. And,
I never got to find out whether any of you actually coughed up, you know.
Well, I
she
think,
did get one, but...
what goes on tour stays on tour.
Yeah, exactly.
How was your night with Shirley?
It was magnificent. I still haven't quite recovered, but it was good fun.
Yeah, a memory that will stay with you forever, like diamonds, no doubt.
Indeed.
Yeah. Brilliant. Now, you guys you're at Newbury next weekend, is it?
It's 27th.
Oh, yeah.
27th.
Is that right?
Feb, something like that.
Good research, guys. Well done. For
What are you playing, the Corn Exchange or something?
That's right, we are indeed.
We are.
Okay. One of Glenn Miller's last ever gigs, the Corn Exchange.
Was it?
Yeah, it
Excellent.
was.
I've been
Actually, I think
not to get on
it's
a
a
light
big
aircraft.
anniversary thing there soon. I mean, yeah, it must be. Yeah, so I'd check it out before you do it, because there might be.
Well, that's a good factoid. For
it is a good one. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's going to be great. We're taking it's a show that we do around the UK. So it's a 2-hour show, and it's covers all the sort of stuff that we do. So we take the 3-part harmony and we mix classical and pop and some original songs as well. And it's a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah, with a bit of verbal. I mean, people always they like it. I mean, I've seen so many people that don't actually engage with the audience. They go on, they do it. I know you don't want to name names, Brian Ferry, but I went to a gig a few weeks ago, and he did the songs. He looked immaculate. I mean, he looked fantastic. He delivered. Didn't talk to the audience once, so nobody really felt connected.
Yeah. If you think that's bad, we just came back we did some performances out in New York a couple of weeks ago, and whilst we were there, we performed at the Carlisle in New York, which is an incredible Cafe Carlisle, amazing place. Yeah. It's where Woody Allen performs every Monday, and we performed straight after him. But Humphrey and I decided to watch a bit of his show. He takes it to extremes because he won't even look at the audience. He looks at the floor during the entire performance.
Really?
Doesn't speak to them once. It's just because he's very, very, very shy. So we're at the opposite end of the spectrum.
What he's doing if you're that shy.
I think he loves playing, and I think the thrill of having an audience in front of you is the same for him as for anybody else. We love having an audience in front of us. So.
Yeah, for us, I think the interaction element is one of the most important parts of the show. And certainly when we speak to people who like our sort of genre of music and like other groups, I think it's one of the things that distinguishes us is the fact that we have a lot of interaction with the audience, and there's quite a lot of off-the-cuff chat, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. So.
And your personal, I'm saying this loosely, your personal intelligent guys, very loosely, obviously. But I mean, you're not daft. I mean, some people on stage, they're not quite sure what to say. They can sing the songs, but
I think that's again that is experience. And I'm not suggesting we're more experienced than bands that have been out there a long time, but actually we've been doing it this way since we started, so 7 years. So I guess probably at the beginning we weren't going to be excellent at it. The banter was probably hit and miss sometimes. In fact, I know it was.
We used to write lines down on a sheet of paper on the floor in front of us.
Exactly.
And it was a kind of process of elimination.
It doesn't work
which
that
lines
way.
work well, and then year after year, as you try different bits of banter, you work out which ones work.
And you learn what's right for different audiences around the country as well, because it's such a there's such a diverse mix of people in Britain. I mean, the South.
Mean like not singing Jerusalem in Wales like we did the other week?
We sang in Llanelli the other day. We sang Jerusalem, at the end. It was we had to really warm them into that.
They probably weren't convinced. Actually, they give us men of Arlec.
We got a few wet sheets.
We got away with it by replacing the word England with Swansea or Cardiff at various times, and then they seemed to go with it a lot more. I don't know why, but
then we all forgot the words.
Yeah, a little bit.
Swansea's green and pleasant there, and I couldn't remember what came next.
No, it's very difficult when you change anything. But no, we're always very aware that our audience is a mixture of couples and lots of single ladies that come along as well.
Yeah.
So we often have to put the men at ease quite early on, and that's where the comedy really started coming into the show, because we suddenly realised these guys have been brought along kicking, screaming, not wanting to be there at all. We're going to be singing a lot of love songs during the night, and some of them are rock and contemporary and pop. Yeah. But ultimately, it is something for ladies, so the comedy's there for the guys, really.
Yeah, no, I think you need to do that. And it's easy with three of you. You can, as George Michael always said about Andrew originally, I want him there to bounce off on stage.
Yeah,
otherwise I feel really exposed. If it's just you think about what you're saying. If something goes quiet, then you're stuck. Well, you can turn to one of the other guys and go, well, they didn't like that, did they? So you can bounce off each other.
That's very true. Yeah, you can't be off the cuff with just yourself. You need each other to set things up, even by accident.
And the relationship between us is definitely something that fans and people who come to the concert enjoy. They enjoy seeing our relationship as three friends and three performers, and that certainly comes across. So yeah, it's cool.
Do you go for specific roles, when you're chatting, like one's the brainy one, one's the sporty one, one's the fall guy, or anything, or do you choose a mix and match?
Really? It switches around at different times. I mean,
it depends who's in what mood,
the chat's
doesn't it?
A combination of anecdotes in the group, which we've experienced over the last 7 years, and personal anecdotes. Some of our relationships have been brilliant, some of them have been terrible. And the greatest therapy you can have is to talk to 600 people live on stage when things go wrong in your life. So I think that the main thing we're comfortable with doing is being self-deprecating. We always have been. We don't worry about making fools of ourselves.
Yeah.
And whenever you step on a stage, if you've got that in your arsenal of tricks, you're in a good position, I think.
Generally, I find the easiest technique is just to give them Stephen's hotel room number.
Yeah,
that puts an audience at ease pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I retaliate with his mobile number, though, so it's fine. It's all fair.
And make sure you disappear at the end of the night. That's the time to do it.
That's fine.
Sorry, is that the time? Yeah.
Well, actually, we always see everybody at the end afterwards, because we've always something we learnt from some very old school, old guard members of the entertainment industry was to do sort of signings and sit down meet and greets after every show. So we do that every night, and it takes about an hour. So we've done our show, and then we go and sit there and we sign CDs and programs, or pretty much anything they give us. Actually,
it was a BBC ethos as well. After the Radio 1 road shows, you used to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Johnny Billings say, right, don't think you're going anywhere. What? You're going to go over to the van there. You're going to sit there, and we'd sign and sign and sign and sign and sign, until there was one dog left. And everyone, the 15,000 people that you wanted to rush off in a car and you whisked away. Everyone had gone, and there's paper, tumbleweeds going.
The massive downside to this process, having signed so many things, if you actually want to find one of our albums on eBay, the trick is finding one that isn't signed.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
It's mostly devalued and defaced.
Absolutely, but it's fun. We love meeting audiences. It's what it's all about. Really.
And also, you get off stage and you're on a big high. It's nice to be able to do something with it. Otherwise, as you say, you get in the car and you end up driving too fast or something. So it's good to actually be able to share that high with the people who've just watched you, and again for them to get more of a chance to know you as an individual.
I think that's the way now. It used to be the star treatment of, they're up there, we can't touch them, we don't know them. But I think these days, especially with social media and social platforms, you get your followers and the people that will come and see you again and again because they feel they know you, and you think, there's, and Cliff always used to say, I always know the first four rows. I can see, I know them almost by name, the first four rows.
Yeah.
So
it's very true.
You have the same.
We do have
people
that.
That will always come.
Oh yeah, we've got people that come to a lot of gigs. I mean, like a lot, and we sort of sit there thinking, God, what have you spent this year? Do you have something else you want to go and do? I mean, you don't want to say, please don't come. You're very happy to see them, but some people are extraordinary the way they follow you around. It's very touching.
Good stuff. We'll talk more in a moment with Ollie and Humphrey and Stephen Blake. It's 17 minutes after 3, BBC Radio Berkshire. Stephen, Humphrey and Ollie with me. Blake, 3 is the time. I'm going to play one of their tracks in a moment. 26 Newbury Corn Exchange. If I don't go on the 27th, because you'll be massively disappointed. Unless, of course, somebody good on the 27th, in which case you won't be disappointed. You guys do so much for different charities. They've recently been working with Walking with Wounded.
Yep.
You do an awful lot. I mean, were you on the Cadet Corps or something? Where you sort of...
I think we probably all were.
It comes from friends and family. It comes from genuine links to the services, and having had friends who have been terribly injured, and so it's a cause that's very dear to our hearts. And when you're in a position to be able to help, then I think you should. So it's something that is very dear to us.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the singles you put out it's got a charity attachment.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you've been around for a while. It's good to do one or two a year, and actually you end up suddenly doing quite a lot. I mean, we've done various things for cancer charities and a lot of Forces charities and Princess Trust and things like that just in the last few months. So if we add them up, I think we've done a lot of charity work, but we do. We do enjoy doing it.
The industry's changed an awful lot.
Exactly. It's good to have, it's finding a vehicle for each song, or finding a song that you think will help a charity that you care about to do a better job with what it's doing, or you can help in some way.
No, I mean, we get between 50 and 100 charities each month sending various emails through saying, can we do this, can we do that? And for us, it's really trying to find something that means something to us to be involved. Otherwise, it's very hard to pick and choose.
No, it's good. Rock and roll used to be a sort of debauched lifestyle of parties and a non-stop whirligigging, and now we're all doing wonderful charitable things.
Well, you'd know.
You missed out clearly on the good years.
We're way too late. You had it for us.
We missed the boat on that. Yeah.
You did Trafalgar Square recently for Prince Harry's sort of pole expedition.
That's right.
I mean, again, he's a remarkable character. We were talking earlier about the royals suggesting that Kate make her image less young, more regal. I think... We were saying, I think she and William did a fantastic job, and considering all they've been through, William and Harry turned out brilliantly. I think really, really good, both in the armed forces, and Harry just thinking, well, let's just pop down on the pole for a while. What is it? The first royal to go to a pole.
He is exceptional. I mean, we spoke to him when they had the launch, and we sang the song, and we had a chat with him about it, and. It's amazing. He puts himself absolutely, in the mix. And we said, you're looking forward to it. Do you want to go? And he said, well, no, not really. It's going to be really hard. Yeah. And he had a sore toe, and he was
broken toe.
Broken toe. Yeah. So it's there's no gimmick to it. He absolutely gets in the mix and puts himself through some amazing things because it's something that is very, very dear to him. And
that's right.
I think having been on the front line and
exactly. I mean, you think you get sent a lot of suggestions for different charities, but think how many they must get.
Oh yeah,
we were talking to his PR lot, and they were saying that they do. They just have to wade through them, and literally, it's just a question of what they particularly as individuals feel that they wish to give their time to, once, twice a year, whatever it may be. Otherwise, there's nothing left. I mean, they cannot do everything.
But we should say we did the song "To the Sun," which I believe they all listened to as they walked along, which is out there. So if people are interested, it's called "To the Sun," and every penny of it goes to Walking with the Wounded, which is a fantastic charity. So they want to look it up online. It's all there, and every penny will make a big difference.
It's one of those ones that's worth going to YouTube to look up, because there's a video that accompanies the song which actually shows wounded servicemen climbing mountains, which is incredible. People without arms or without a leg climbing the side of a mountain, which I wouldn't even dream of trying to.
They are extraordinary. I mean, the last couple of years I've co-hosted the Soldiering On Awards, and again, those guys, and you think, you're doing something, you've only got one leg or one arm and one leg. And, you've been at Selly Oak, you've been at Headley Court, and you're doing things that I would never dream of doing.
Oh, they're so positive. We were chatting to one of the American guys who's only got one finger left on his right hand. And he's just, he was joking, saying, at least there's less to get frostbite on, and they're all joking about having their disabilities.
But it's about having an aim as well, isn't it? Because they have to have something to look forward to. I mean, I had a friend who went into Selly Oak and Headley Court, who was blown up in Afghan a few years ago now. And it's about having something at the end of the journey that they can actually look forward to and say, that's what I'm going to do. That's the reason I want to be able to get better. Because otherwise, it's just, there isn't a huge prospect for what they can do.
That's right. And with a lot of them, they think they're going to get back out there. A chum of mine can't wait to get back out. Well, you're probably not, but they might let you think that for a while. We'll chat more in a moment with Stephen and Humphrey and Ollie. Blake, who are coming to the Newbury Corn Exchange on the 26th, 3.